Hello, community. This is another podcast presented to you by me, Apollonius, and my friend Ike. In this fifth episode of our podcast, we're going to share with you the feedback that we gathered from our forums and which more or less reflects the feedback from the English speaking community. In the last episode, we shared with you the different new features that would be implemented into the CBT3 client. So, Ike, tell us, what's new in CBT3 and what were the likes and dislikes of the community that played the game?
Well, I think the best idea to start with the character customization, because this is the first thing you're gonna do when you log into Black Desert Online. So as we said, some hairstyles are improved and they add some new hairstyles, and we already knew that you can customize your character as much as you want. You can make him really ugly or really beautiful, and test with different stuff like different eye colors or scratches in your face. So we already know about that. Another positive feedback about the character customization was of course the dye system. The armors looks pretty similar to each other, but with the new dye system, the whole armor changed.
The dice system is very detailed. Since we shared it in our respective article, you can customize your armor on 3 different levels, and I think this is going to be one of the main features in the game that will be a huge selling point. But a point which I would like to address is that the classes in the CBT3 did not feature extensive hairstyles. Yes, there is a lot of them, but seeing how many different customization features we have in the character customization mode, I would go for a few more hairstyles on all the races and all the classes. It would make the game even better. Well, graphics wise, the game is pretty awesome. I mean, this is what drew most of us into Black Desert Online, apart from the open world sandbox gameplay. But I think that the game would be even better if Pearl Abyss made a few improvements on the rendering and the depth of view while in-game, because you've probably noticed it that things appear sometimes a little bit too abrupt when you're traveling across the world.
Yeah, they're just like the bump amp in front of you.
Yeah. Speaking of the world, what did you admire most during CBT3? What features of the game world were very appealing to you?
Well, the positive feedback that we collect about the world was that the whole world is just a very big area. For example, there's no loading or something like that. There's also no teleport, which that gives you a small illusion that the world is a little bit bigger. But the bad feedback that we had is that the world is not really that big, especially if you're traveling with horse.
Yes, the comment was that the CBT3, that the world available during the CBT3 was not as big as some people imagined it, but I think it was also highlighted by the appearance of channels for the first time, which kind of spread the community in different channels of the same world, making it less populated, even though in some instances it was desirable, as well as that people started in one starting zone, Balenos. So it gave the impression that a lot of players are in one place all the time together, and they did not experience any different kind of areas.
Yeah, well, all characters except Ranger for some reason.
Another integral part of the game world itself is PvE, the environment. And we noticed that the environment in Black Desert Online is not only very interactive, but it's also very beautiful and very challenging. So in regards to PvE, we noticed that there is a big variety of monsters. We hardly noticed any reskin of monsters, which means they use the same model of monsters and just change the skins of it to make it a little bit different, as happened in other games before. And we also noticed that the AI of mobs had been greatly improved since CBT2. What else did you notice, Ike?
Well, except the part that the walls look seamless. The problem is that there are not really new things on the high level. For example, you can't find any secret cave or any open world dungeon that you go there and XP and stay there and grind for hours and hours. That's, I think, is a very big problem, because it's making the game to have a routine and not experience with new stuff. And the other bad thing about Close Beta 3 was many people agree with that the leveling it was really fast. Make level 50 in just 4 days or 3 days. I think it's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yes, the leveling to level 50 in 3 days, to me it seemed a little bit too much. It's too hardcore. It means that probably the people playing hardly slept at all. But level 1 to 50 in approximately a week is very doable if you are also a very dedicated player. Standing on the gaming aspect, I would note that the potion system is a little bit broken in my opinion at the moment, because with a healing class being absent and most classes lacking a healing alternative, most resort to spamming potions, which is kind of substituting the healing aspect in the game itself. So I think that there needs to be a solution by the game designers themselves, which would substitute the potion spamming with healing alternatives, be it HOTS, lifesteal, or other sources of healing, and make the healing via potions bound to the crafting system. This is a very good feedback that we also agree on and that we gather from our community.
Well, of course, that issue about the potion spamming is not only on the PvE side of the game, it's also on the PvP side of the game. I mean, some fights were endless if you were using potions, and that by personal experience was a really bad thing on the game, to fight the same guy over and over till somebody ran out of potions.
The spamming of potions in PvP side, we have to tell viewers, and it proved even better during CBT3, that PvP is free and open, though the bad thing is that it's only unlocked after you've completed a level 40 quest, which kind of destroys the notion of free open PvP in general, so you have to reach level 40 to be able to fight with others. And this leaves some question marks open, because there is different spots in the leveling areas from 1 to 40 which would actually encourage clan wars or even one-on-one PvP over farming spots and resources.
Well, I guess it would be better if we could see it maybe on the release at starting the PvP at level 20 or even earlier, by my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree if PvP was allowed around the levels of 15 to 20, because by that more or less people get to know the basic skills of their class and they're adapt to the targeting combat, so it wouldn't be too much of a problem.
Well, that's right, but although the PvP is open world, I mean, you can kill anyone. If someone PK a character without any reason, he will suffer a lot of penalties. Those are, first of all, to not be able to enter a town because all the gods will hunt you down and kill you. You lose more XP. Each time you die, your armor and weapons decrease the durability and you need to spend money to repair them. And of course, any other character can kill you.
Now, you mentioned the PK system, more or less, Ike, and I think that the concept of the currently implemented karma system in Black Desert Online is a very good one, at least under the right conditions, because the philosophy is you're free to act in whatever way you want to, but there is consequence. There is consequence in killing, and there is a consequence in being killed. If you kill someone, you will gain karma, which, if you gain a lot of karma, you will have a hard time interacting with NPCs because they won't receive you, as well as the guards outside towns will hunt you down. But on the other hand, as the person dying, you lose your crystals that have been amped into your armor, and if you are the PKer to die, you will probably drop some items too. So it's a very good system in its very essence, but our community thought that, and I think it's a conflict, it's a never-ending conflict. Some people want more punishment for the PKers to discourage such behavior, while others see it as an obstacle to open world PvP, so they would want less punishment, less consequences for it. But we hope to see Pearl Abyss evaluate the data that they gathered during the CBT3, and I'm sure that there is a lot more to come from Pearl Abyss on the PK system and the PvP feature of the game in general. So this concludes the 5th episode of our Black Desert Online podcast. As always, all our media are at your disposal. You can comment on our YouTube channel, you can visit our forums under www.black-desert.com/forums. Our community is increasing as always. We have new users every day and our post counts are getting even bigger. So feel free to like us on Facebook if you haven't, and feel free to share all of our content with your friends. Bye from me.
Bye bye.